This is the first verse of the 6th chapter of the Gospel of John. Chapter 5 wraps up an extended conversation that Jesus had with the religious leaders, which was triggered by his healing of a man who had been 38 years an invalid, who made his home near a pool. And that conversation didn't end well, apparently, and Jesus now, after those things, goes back to the region of Galilee, and we hear the discussion. John gives us the frame of reference for this in this first verse of the 6th chapter. Meta, this is a preposition, takes the genitive or the accusative. Here it has the accusative, tauta, and the accusative will give the meaning to this preposition of after. So after tauta, demonstrative pronoun. This is either the nominative or the accusative plural neuter. In this case, following the preposition, it's the accusative. So after these things, apeilthen. This is from aperkamai, which means I go away. This is the third person singular, second aorist, active indicative. The ap at the beginning is what gives the meaning of going away. Erkamai simply means to come or to go. So in this situation, Jesus is said to go away. After these things, he went away. The subject of the verb is ho Jesus, the Jesus, of course, idiomatically, the way we find it in Greek. Peiron is an interesting word. It has a history that actually is rooted, apparently, in an ancient Greek verb that means to pierce. But it had come to mean, as an adverb at the time of the first century, simply to cross over, to go across, to go through, as it were. And so that's the idea here. After these things, Jesus across, tes, the genitive, singular, the, thalasses, and here we have the word for see. Thalassic is a word we have in English, which is related to this. It has to do with a notion of a tranquil setting, as in a tranquil sea. Here we have tes thalasses, the sea. Same word here, tes Galileos. The word Galileos means Galilee, proper name, of course, and so it's the Sea of Galilee. And then interestingly, John adds one further, tes Tiberiados. This is, of course, the proper name Tiberias, and so it's the Sea of Galilee of Tiberias. Sometimes John simply calls it the Sea of Tiberias, which was a name that was sometimes applied to it in those days. Tiberius was ruling at the time, and so it was common to name things in honor of Tiberius, even though eventually their names would switch back. Here John is apparently giving us both names just to make it clear that the Sea of Galilee is the Sea of Tiberias, and later when he mentions the Sea of Tiberias without adding the Sea of Galilee, we of course will know what it's referring to. One way or another, Jesus now leaves the city of Jerusalem. He leaves the general region of Judea and is heading north across the sea back into the region of Galilee.